Jets lose to the Las Vegas Raiders 12-16 on primetime football, dropping to 4-5 on the season. Before we dive into the loss, I need to say this. I'm recording this currently at 11:27 p.m. over here on the East Coast. Game just wrapped up. And if you're watching this video right now, you are the definition of a diehard football fan. You have no idea how much it means to me that you are, after watching that absolute mess of a football game, that you're spending your Sunday night hanging out on the channel watching this video. And we all got work tomorrow. We all got school tomorrow. You're up hanging. I appreciate it. It truly means the world. With that said, we're at the point where a change needs to be made. A change has to be made. Tuesday, Monday. Of course, maybe, not tonight in the post-game presser, but no more excuses. We are in week 11. The season is slipping through our fingers. We're 4-5. We're below 500. We have all these different AFC teams winning, all these AFC teams with great records. You look at the AFC North. You look at Houston, rookie head coach, rookie offensive coordinator, first-time play caller, rookie quarterback, second overall pick, just like the Jets 3 years ago. They're working it out. They're figuring it out. The Jets are, once again, we are on primetime football, losing because our offense cannot get into the end zone. It is an absolute disgrace. A change needs to be made. We can talk about, pulling the plug on Zach Wilson, making it, a swap there. Trevor Siemian, Tim Boyle. There's, we've heard every excuse in the book on why the Jets aren't, why they essentially refuse to move on from Zach, right? It's not his fault, this and that. We've heard it all. But one thing's apparent, the offense is not getting better. We can look at the total yards and whatnot tonight, but with all of the throwing that Zach Wilson attempted 39 pass attempts tonight. That's not including the plays where he tucked it and ran, not including the plays where he got sacked. We threw it a lot. If a quarterback is literally throwing the football 39 times a game, of course, the numbers overall of the offense, they're going to be a little bit inflated. Everybody that watched this football game knows that the offense looked absolutely... It's just disgusting football. I'm watching the game in the first quarter. They throw up a stat on the screen talking about the Jets' third down conversion rate at 22%. Not only is it just 32nd in football, and the next closest team coming into the day was the Cleveland Browns, right around 31%. And by the way, that margin is absolutely massive. But that's actually, the Jets' 22% is the worst in football in the last 50 years. Think about that for a second. Think about that fact. And then remember Saleh, Hackett, hitting press conferences throughout the week and trying to fan the flames. Everything is fine. We know what we're doing. You guys have to sit and wait. The offense will figure it out. It'll click. Everything will be all good. And when it does, it's going to be awesome. Well, guess what? It's week 11. And Robert Saleh just got out-coached by Antonio Pierce in his second football game as an interim head coach on primetime football. Yeah, the season's slipping through our fingers. It's 100% clear. Think about this too for a second. If you're Jeff Ulbrich, what do you say to your defense? They got a little tired at the end. Who can really blame them? But it's like, okay, yeah, we've dominated Justin Herbert. We lit up Josh Allen, lit up Jalen Hurts. Patrick Mahomes, multiple INTs, should have had more because we dropped one. CJ Mosley had the drop pick. So Michael Carter had the interception called back. Even with those two picks taken away, Pat Mahomes still threw multiple INTs. Jeff Ulbrich is having to walk into that defensive locker room and say, sorry guys, not good enough. I know we're playing elite. I know we're getting after the passer. We're getting multiple sacks a game. Third down pass rush is absolutely insane. Of course, we get the athletes in the backfield. We took the ball away today. Sorry, not good enough. Why? Because our offense is literally the worst in football. And guess what? It gets worse. We're not going to do anything about it because everything is fine and we're just waiting for it to click. So hopefully doesn't take until week 15 or week 16 for the offense to click. And then everybody will be fine, right? Then we'll start putting up the points. Because for me, my patience is like, I'm at the boiling point. If a change is not made this week, and again, I'm not necessarily just saying quarterback change. I'm not sitting here saying that is going to fix all of the team's problems. I think my first change, if I'm Saleh, if I am the head coach of a football team, this football team that is starting to feel like it's really starting to feel like it's pointing downhill. It's going to start trending downwards quickly. I'm making a change at play caller. I'm telling Nathaniel Hackett, what we're doing has got to go. I'm sorry, it has to go. I know it's his first season here. I'm not saying fire Nathaniel Hackett, but move play calling duties to someone else. Horrible on third down, horrible in the red zone, starting out slow every single week. Is Zach Wilson really developing at a rapid pace? No, probably not. There's a myriad of different problems with this football team. They're undisciplined. Once again, here we go. Let's check out the penalties. 8 flags on the Jets tonight. Guess how many yards we gave up? 83. It's the same problems every week. Yeah, I guess we got a little bit better on third downs here. 7 of 16. But we've so many shortcomings in every other category here. And sorry if I sound so deflated, so like mentally exhausted. It's just watching this offense do this, just struggle every single week. And I don't really have a problem with, one individual play, one individual player, right? My issue with this team is that we can all look at the numbers. We can all watch these football games. We can all look at the statistics, the team rankings, everything, dive into all of it. And we just don't do anything about it. We just don't do anything about it. And I get wanting to stick with your guys. I get not wanting to throw anybody under the bus if you're Robert Saleh or Hackett or whoever. But at what point do you put the locker room, do you put the team first? This is the New York Jets. This is not the New York Zach Wilsons. This is not the New York Nathaniel Hackett's. This is not the New York... This team, it should not be putting personalities and contracts and egos ahead of winning football games. By the way, this goes for Joe Douglas too. A report comes out early today. I didn't do a video on it because I didn't want to put like a negative thing out there before the game. A report comes out saying that Carson Wentz contacted the Jets, interested, right, with the quarterback position. Like I'm okay coming in for a workout. Like, is there mutual interest? The Jets passed. Guess what? The trade deadline passed as well. The one quarterback that we were linked to the entire time in this like weird week 7, week 8 period was Brett Rippon, who ironically enough was released and then no interest from the Jets. So was there even interest in the first place? The report went on to say that the Jets are going to be sticking with Zach Wilson and there wasn't any interest in Carson Wentz, and it is what it is, barring a quote-unquote disaster. The 32nd ranked offense, in my opinion, is a disaster. It is what it is. Being the worst team in football on third downs is a disaster. The worst team in the red zone is a disaster. 31st in touchdowns, probably 32nd after today's, after all the stats from, the slate gets added together. That's a disaster. At what, like, imagine you're a defensive player, CJ Mosley, Sauce Gardner, TJ Reed, whoever, Quincy, Quinnen, and Jeff Ulbrich, you are now going to the facility, practicing, playing hard, looking at the numbers, rewatching the tape, looking at your play, flat out dominating, wrecking, big time franchise quarterbacks, and just saying, it's not enough. Like, where's the accountability from Saleh here? Like, is there even a... Like, I've been saying this in a couple videos. It seems like Saleh and Joe Douglas signed 4-year extensions, but that news hasn't hit the public yet. They're coaching like they have 4 years left in the tank. I mean, where is the urgency? Do we even want to win? Of course we want to win, of course. But some of these moves, or the lack of moves that Joe Douglas makes, is just mind-blowing. Yeah, we bring in Trevor Siemian. He's not dressing. Why isn't he dressing? Because he hasn't been with the team long enough. We should have brought in a quarterback the day after Aaron Rodgers went down, that Tuesday. And this is not hindsight 2020. We all called it. Every Jet fan all across the world said this. We got to bring in someone else. And again, the offensive failures, the offensive numbers and stats and all this, it doesn't just fall on one player. I'm not saying start Trevor Siemian and we're top 15, right? We're top 20. But my question is, how much worse can it get? How much worse can it actually be? We're the worst team on third downs in the last 50 years. Like, are we nervous about making it 60? Like, what? I'm sorry, like, is there a mandate to play Zach Wilson? Because that's what it seems. And if there's not, then it really seems like Saleh has 4 years left in the tank. And hey, he could kick his feet up. Rodgers got hurt. He's coming back next season, right? Maybe he'll be back in December. That's the goal, but it's fine. I'm going to be here. Douglas is going to be here. It's kind of a wash. It is what it is. Rodgers got hurt for 4 plays into the season. I have a 17-game pass for the offense to look horrible, for us to continue to get flagged tons of times throughout the game, week after week after week, giving up tons of free yards. Think about that, 83 yards given to the Raiders. That's essentially an entire football field handed to Las Vegas. It's ridiculous. And I haven't checked out the post-game presser, and I'm not saying this loss is on one person, but think about the message that it sends to the locker room. Defensive players, backups, if nothing happens. Zach's the guy. No. Boyle will not get even a chance in practice. Simi won't get first team reps. No, it's off the table. It's not happening. Hackett will continue to call plays. Sorry, there's nothing you can do about it. We are fine with what we are seeing. It's going to click at some point. Well, guess what? At this rate, we're going to be 4-11, 4-10 by the time the season, flips around. Like, are you kidding me? Like, or sorry, not the season, the offense. Like, it's just a joke. It's just a complete joke. To me, it's like, it's a slap in the face of the defense. I remember last week after the Charger game, like, Saleh's pointing out like instances where the defense could have like maybe made more plays. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, Saleh's right in what he's saying, but from an optic perspective, do you really want to be bashing the defense after everything we've seen from them this season and knowing where the offense stands? Fans, media members, insiders, other teams, other defenses, other defensive coordinators, probably the players on the New York Jets. We all know the state of affairs of the Jets offense. It's horrible. It is borderline it is unwatchable. I cannot be the only one that is just watching this Jets offense and it's just like a train wreck. It's like, what's going to happen now? A sack, a turnover, a bad play call, a 3-yard pass, a run right up the middle. I would like to see some more outside running, maybe get some of the more younger players involved, like Ruckert over CJ. Like, it's just a complete mess offensively, and it sucks because the defense is amazing. They missed a couple tackles here and there, and they got tired at the end of the game, and the Raiders won, of course. Right, Aiden O'Connell made that great play too. I think it was Michael Mayer in the back of the end zone. But it's like, what more can the defense realistically do? And the offense is just like the bar is set so low for this team. Not by fans. Yeah, we have our low bar set for this offense. Can we score a touchdown, please? But even from the coaching staff, it's like the bar is set so low. Like, something that just had me stumped was, I think we had the ball at the Raiders' 13 or 14-yard line in the first half. And we, of course, get a penalty from the CJ on the hold on Crosby. We back it up. I think we're at the 13 or 14-yard line. And we just run 2 straight runs. And it's like, we're in a situation where it's first and second in goal here. The goal with these runs isn't to pick up the 12 yards and get in the end zone, the 13 yards to get in the end zone. It's to slowly chip away. But what is that going to leave you with? You're 13, 14 yards back from the goal line. Again, first and second goal, you are asking for a 3rd and long on 3rd and goal for a team that sucks in the red zone, and they cannot score a touchdown to say, like, it's absolutely crazy. You are asking for a 3rd and long situation there. So I think if I was Saleh, I'm stripping play calling duties from Nathaniel Hackett. It's just enough is enough. And look, if they give it to whoever it may be, Todd Downing, whoever they think is, up for it, and it's not that good, right? It doesn't look all that much better. At least you try. At least he's swinging the bat. You don't want to strike out looking. And I feel like every single game, offensively speaking, and quick side tangent here, I know Saleh's the defensive guy. He doesn't really have much of an offensive input, and it's Hackett's offense. He's the play caller. He's the one supposed to be developing Zach. These are all his players that he added, throughout the offseason. He wanted, worked with Lazard, Billy Turner, all these different guys. Randall Cobb, I know he was, I believe, a healthy scratch tonight. So you can say, well, it's not really Saleh's fault that the offense is falling apart, but he's the head coach of the football team. This is Todd Bowles 2.0. It's Todd Bowles all over again. How many offensive coordinators did we roll through with Todd Bowles as head coach? 3. Chan Gailey, John Morton, Jeremy Bates. Couldn't develop a young quarterback in Sam Darnold. I also believe Christian Hackenberg and Bryce Petty were also under the Todd Bowles era. It was just an offensive mess every single year outside of 2015 where, the team went 10-6, but that squad had a bunch of veterans with Chan Gailey coming back. The point is, Todd Bowles had a great defense. Todd Bowles developed his players defensively. Todd Bowles did, on the defensive side of the football, did a lot of incredible things. They said he was a player's coach. The players respected him. There's a lot of different parallels here from Bowles to Saleh. Again, Saleh's defense, it's good. You got young players developing. They're producing. They're getting after the quarterback. There's a lot to like there. But what is he actually giving to the offense to make them better? Saleh's job is not defensive coordinator. It's not linebacker coach. It's head coach. So I understand that his defense is doing well, but he's the head coach of the football team. In other words, he's the CEO. He's in control of everything. And if he has the power to strip play calling duties or to make a quarterback change or whatever the case is, personally, if I'm Saleh, I am... Sorry about that low battery warning here. What was I saying? Oh, if I was Robert Saleh, I am sprinting down to Joe Douglas's office and I am saying, please get me some more help. Unfortunately, now we're past the trade deadline. I would have been doing this since week 1, when Rodgers went down. Whether it's bringing in more help at quarterback, whether it's bringing in more offensive linemen or another wide receiver or something, right? It just seems like everybody running this team is fine with what we're seeing. And it just sucks. It sucks to be in this position. Like, where's the accountability from Saleh? Where's the accountability from Joe Douglas? It's hard to watch. It is really hard to watch. And this is the game. This is the turning point for me because every other team in the AFC is starting to pull away. Again, we could rattle off all these different teams: Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Miami, KC, Buffalo. There's so many good, Houston, Jacksonville. There's so many good teams in the AFC. The Raiders now are 4-4 or 5-4 or something like or 5-5 maybe. The point is the AFC is stacked. And the second you get caught sleeping or stumbling here in the Jets case where they've lost 2 straight games, it's like that could be it. That could be it. Two straight losses here to AFC opponents. This is going to come up in a big fashion. This is a major point in the wild card race and in playoff picture, seeding, all these different things. The season is slipping through our fingers. Can we show some sort of urgency? Do we actually care about winning here? And I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about Joe Douglas, Saleh, and Hackett. Ulbrich, he's calling the defense. I think he's doing a tremendous job, especially considering the offense continuously punts the ball back to the defense or is turning the football over. Therefore, the defense has to play with the weight of the world on their shoulders, but yet they're still producing. So Jeff Ulbrich, for me, gets a pass. I'm fine with him. I'm fine with the defense. But everybody else, again, Hackett, Douglas, Saleh, I'm up to my limit. It just seems like nobody cares about winning, and I know they do. I know that statement is blunt, it's harsh, it's not the case, but that's what it feels. That's what it feels. Because there's no urgency to upgrade the roster. There's no urgency to make a trade. In fact, they actually traded away a player, and now we're thin at the position at wide receiver. Good thing we got the 2025 6th-round pick, though. That's really helping this team out this season. Accountability, penalty, all these different problems. I'm almost at a loss for words, and I'm just rambling at this point. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. You guys are the best. It means so much. And as always, go Jets.